Hey folks, how's it going? Primordial Atrocity with you here, and we got a little interview set up with Heather Dyson from Thurston Talk, and she's going to be asking us some questions and basically going to let you guys get to know us as a band a little bit better. All right. So Heather, we're going to pass it on to you, and you got the driver's seat.
Awesome. Well, thanks for meeting me today. We're going to dive in and just learn a little bit more about history of the band, what inspired you guys to get started, and where you're looking to go in the future. So tell me a little bit about the band's history, how you guys got started and how you got connected with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Snakes, you want me to take that, or you
Sure.
want?
Right, I'll take the next one.
So in a nutshell, I guess this band is over 6 years old now. We started by me personally. I was just on Craigslist looking for some bandmates. I think Jake here was also doing the same thing. He was in Lewis County. I was in Thurston County, and I've been doing that for a good year or so, just kind of trying to connect with musicians to try to form something, to be a part of something. And met up with Jake. Had a couple different other bandmates at the time who were involved who are no longer with us, and we kind of been through a few different musicians within the last 6 year period. But ultimately, me and Jake kept the band going, and we landed with these fine folks back here, which we'll introduce here shortly. But yeah, we started practicing in Lewis County and kind of practiced in Thurston County. We were hitting it really hard at first, practicing like 3 days a week. And then as the band got older and we all matured a little bit more, we got to kind of limit it down to once or twice a week now, but we still maintain content material. We're still pushing out new stuff all the time. So yeah, here we are.
Awesome. So tell me then, when did we have our newest members join?
Yeah, so back here, newest member is Krishna. You want to say hi, man?
Yeah, nice to meet you. I joined, I believe it was March. I got the call from Sean, and just said, "Hey, I put a thing like an ad out, at a local music store, and just my information, everything." And he called me one day. He's like, "Hey, got this metal band here. Just want to know if you want to come and meet us up for practice one day." And I said, "Sure, okay, yeah." And then the rest is history. Yeah, so I think that was late March, I think.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And ever since, right?
Yeah, ever since.
What do you do in the band?
Oh, I play the drums.
And right.
Yeah,
what do I do?
I'm just here.
I just show up. I kind of wave some flags around. I don't know.
Exactly.
And for those who don't know, like people who've been following us and fans, longtime fans, and anybody who's on our social media, we've been kind of doing this little fun game where we've been hiding Krishna's identity. So this is actually the first of who he is. We've been showing clips of him with, blocking his face out, and everybody's asking, like, who is that guy?
It's pretty handsome, but we couldn't let the world know yet.
You gotta, we gotta use it.
Exactly.
You've been exposed now, so
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Awesome. And then Sean, when did you join?
Yeah, I joined the band. Gosh, it's gonna be like 2 years this coming November. But
Awesome.
yeah, I was 23. Jake hit me up over social media and was like, "Hey man, we're looking for someone to fill in for guitar." And I was like, cool. And so I basically just kind of listened to their first EP, Dismal, and kind of picked out what songs I liked the most. I picked them apart by ear. Once I got about 3 of them down, I let Jake know, like, "Hey man, I'm ready to like try out for y'all." And then I went over to our old drummer's house, and I've been in the band ever since then.
It was pretty clear pretty quickly with both of them that they were in the band.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were the right fit.
Fine.
The perfect fit. Awesome. So what can you tell me then going forward? What are you guys looking to do? You got any projects or new music you're working on?
We have a lot that we're working on, to be honest with you, Heather. There's
Awesome.
a big list of things. Just to kind of generalize a little bit, right now, with the addition of Krishna on the drums, we're kind of going through a really major sound change in the direction that we've always hoped, but it's leading us to writing an actual concept EP For anybody who might not understand what that is, basically it's just an EP it's all a similar story that follows along the same storyline. So that has been something we've been drilling, and we're actually pretty far through that now. Instrumentally, we're wrapping it up. I'm working on lyrics right now for the rest of the songs.
Awesome.
And we have a full length planned after that, but I'm talking music videos, much more merchandise, websites, all sorts of things. So
All kinds of goodies along the way, right?
Yeah, and he kind of put that, I mean, you're being modest about it. Like, we've actually been putting a lot of time into that. I don't know how many bands are doing this, but we've really carved out a lot of time into just concept ideas where literally we'd be sitting right here in this office where you're looking at for like 3+ hours, just coming up with ideas and brainstorming like different ideas in which direction we want the storyline to go. I mean, we're talking about like a whole story concept, character development, scenes, names of like, planets and cities and, all kinds of stuff, races.
Yeah.
So we've really put a lot of time into it. And I'm curious to how many bands are doing that, because it feels like we are going over the top and it's paying off. Like, we're all really happy with
Right.
the way things are coming together.
it's extremely important in a band too, because you have to be very happy with the music you're going to play every night if that's what you want to do.
Right. Can't go on stage hating your own music. So that makes a lot of sense.
It's just 1 10-second part. It's very
Yeah,
important. Love your music, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
So with the concept, do you guys want to share any pieces of what's to come, or do you want that to kind of be under wraps for right now? You don't have to share, so no worries if you want it to be kind of a
Hints away.
I would just like to say a lot of it was really inspired by what happened during the pandemic and all of the time we had during that downtime. I felt like a lot of the EP came out of that. The ideas for it and the first thoughts of it came from that. So when people are listening to the EP, if they think of that, that could maybe help them listen through it or give them more ideas about the music when they hear it eventually.
Yeah.
right with that in mind, right?
Yeah.
And I think any band that has conjured up a concept for an album or an EP has gone through that phase where when they're writing it, they say, oh, what if this or what if that, where they go down one avenue and they go down, they just branch out all these different ideas. And like, Ben was saying, we spend hours, hours upon hours just writing and writing, erasing, writing some more, and I think what's good about what we're writing is it's so in depth and so detailed that if you just look at it on a big picture scale, it makes sense. If you look at it, really like microscopic, it still makes sense, And I think with concepts, you kind of need that,
Yeah, I'd just like to add as well that I think for the fans of this band who have been fans for the last 6 years, I'm sure y'all will really love what this EP is gonna be like, because it's all of our voices put together. Like, we all agreed upon all the ideas that are in there. There's no ideas that one of us doesn't vibe with. It's all of our voice just channeled through this one EP. So we're really proud of it for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the idea, just to have something that's all connected. And it sounds like you guys have invested a lot of time and energy to make sure that someone's not going to listen and go, now, wait a minute, they said this. That's a loophole that I just found out, like you guys have really got it solidified, right? That it all lines up. So that's awesome. I'm curious where the inspiration has come from just for the music. Is it all tied to a story with the music itself, or is it more like lyrically? Are you planning to have it align with this concept, or will it be more vague?
It will certainly be lyrically. Think of it this way. The lyrics will essentially be generally telling you the story that will be explained visually, the artwork for the and then if you can paint the picture in your mind, picking up on the audio that we're going to provide, I think that also will translate into the lyrics, because that's how I write my lyrics anyways, is I listen to something and then I think about how it makes me feel. So if we have parts that are more aggressive, there's probably going to be somewhat more aggressive lyrics on that part.
Right.
But it all follows the story to be honest with you, Heather, I would be confident to pitch this stuff to somebody to direct it as a movie. It's just, it would have to be a lot of CGI and all that because we're making stuff up.
I'll call my sister. She could probably get you some connections with that.
There we go.
I'm down. And to kind of dovetail off of what these guys are talking about, the EP art, I would just say that the EP art we have and the album art that we've gotten ahead of the game and have already gotten acquired has been done by some professional artists. So these are artists, two different artists that have both done some masterful pieces for some big bands out there. So we're really proud about that. And we've kind of, with Jake's lyrics, we've really got an explanation. If you look at one of those art pieces, there's almost an explanation for everything in the piece. So it kind of makes a lot of sense. And for those nerds out there that want to really dive into the lyrics, they're going to kind of get some of that ear candy there and see like the connection there.
Awesome. I love it. Do you want to shout out the artists that are working on this and give any credit to them in this article?
I don't know. What do you guys think? Not yet? Too soon? Premature? Maybe?
No, I don't want to make it like an expose, but if you want to shout them out.
Along with saying who did the art, and they
Okay.
know what quality to expect.
God, I'm going to slaughter his name though.
You can absolutely email me later if you want. It's
Okay.
perfectly fine. If you want to find it and send it to me, I can put it in there.
And
Just who to credit.
yeah, forgive me if you watch this too, but I think you pronounce it. So his name's Juanjo Castellanos, I believe, something like that. But for those of you who don't know who he is, he's the artist who did Black Dahlia Murder's most recent album, Verminous. He did that album cover. And you can see definitely the similarities in those art pieces when you look at that album, you look at ours. Obviously completely different concepts, but very talented guy. And that it fits really well with our EP. Pedro Sina would be the other artist. He's very known for doing a lot of death metal artwork for a lot of big name bands out there. Honestly, we didn't even know that until we hired the guy and started looking through his profile and seeing like all these beautiful pieces he's done with so much detail that we know, vibrant colors. Like, oh wow, like, oh, he did artwork for this band. Oh, he did artwork for this band.
All over the place.
Holy shit, I feel like we're part of the family now.
Yeah.
Yeah, both really talented guys, and I'm super happy. I think I speak for everybody when I say that, but the art piece of both of them just came out really detailed and fit well with what we're trying to go for.
It's so cool to see that kind of stuff because it's so rare, especially with music, that you get to actually have a visual tied to what's in your head or what you're singing about or writing about. So that's awesome to have something concrete that like, oh my God, you guys really just captured and took it right out of my brain and put it on a piece of paper. Like, that's really awesome. Yeah. So trying to think here. Got the EP art that you shared about, lyrics. How about musically? Where does the inspiration come from, or what do you guys kind of channel to determine what the sound's going to be or what you want to go for next, or how do you keep it fresh with a new song?
When you guys want to take this?
Well, coming from a drumming aspect, I think, I grew up playing, Latin music, Caribbean music, so I didn't start playing metal music, a lot of metal drummers have been playing metal their entire lives. I'm not one of them. I grew up playing Latin, Caribbean, Indian music, things like that. So one thing that I bring to the table is that type of variation on metal music, whereas let's say, if you just blast through the whole song, you can, turn it on its head and maybe put a different beat, maybe something that feels a bit more groovier, something that opens the song up some more, that, you actually feel the emotion a little bit better, something that, encompasses the music. Because the main thing for this band I didn't want to do was overplay. A lot of drummers I've seen are really talented, but they'll overplay, whereas like, let's say for instance, if, Ben or Sean are doing a solo, I don't want to be doing a bunch of crazy stuff during their solo. I would like, them to shine, want Jake to shine, each member of the band should be able to shine in their respective moments,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, when it comes to drumming, yeah, I definitely think that, especially in this EP, without giving away too much, it is a very, I'd say a very violent tragic story, just the EP alone, like as Ben mentioned, I'm one of those nerds that get really into the lore and I deep dive into things. So when an album has music that reflects the art, that reflects the story, that reflects the music, that to me is like the biggest indicator that, oh, that band is putting in the time, and I want the drumming to reflect that as well. So if it's a violent, tragic song, I would like drums to reflect that as well.
Love it. Now, how about our guitarist then? You guys work pretty
Yeah.
synchronized, right? How does that?
Yeah, I just want to kind of go off what Krishna was saying. Like before Krishna had joined the band, most of the guitar work for a lot of our EP was like more or less solidified, meaning we had like all of the riffs pretty much put together. But Krishna was really key in like just reminding us that like audibly, like what everyone's gonna hear and what the lyrics are describing have to match up. So like all the emotion that's coming through the actual sound and then what's coming through with the words have to match up. And there were some parts on the EP where all four of us actually got to write music together. And it wasn't just the guitars were done and Krishna got to put his drums over it. We actually wrote, like all four of us wrote music together. And for me, like sonically, the way it sounds totally reflects how it feels in the storyline. I feel like that was like what Krishna brought to the table and kind of inspired me to think more about, rather than just putting these riffs to these lyrics and trying to make it work. The sound that you're hearing is like makes me feel like the lyrics that are being like sang, like it's all connected and stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'd like to add a little bit to that too, honestly. I mean, as far as the sound goes in general, there are no boundaries, not for Primordial Atrocity. There is nothing not worth trying or at least considering. Half of the things that I've done lyrically started out as a joke, and then like, oh, that sounded pretty sick. That turns into a thing, But the point really is that I listen to so much different music. Between the four of us here, you couldn't easily define any one of us as this guy likes this kind of music, because we all listen to a lot of different stuff. Death metal is where our heart lies, but we're not afraid to take influences from hip hop, from Latin, from other even kinds of metal that are not as aggressive as ours. For example, Sean and I listen to a lot of metalcore, it is heavy and aggressive with a lot of screams, but there tends to be singing and a lot more melodic riffs in there too. So you don't catch stuff like that in Primordial Atrocity because that provides emotion that straight blast beats and chug riffs and pinch harmonics can't always convey. So it's really important to be open-minded to other genres and other areas of audible experiences, because that's what's going to create a one-of-a-kind band, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I would just like to add, there's no clean singing on it.
No, there's no clean singing. I can do it, but I won't.
Disclaimer.
It's actually all clean singing. We're blasting.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. It's opera though, don't worry.
That would be amazing, a metal opera band.
Oh, they exist.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Is it called Mopra or?
You know what else? Mopra.
It is now anyway. We just
There we go. Coined it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, like Sean was saying though, the lyrics, the sound, the structure of the songs really complement the lyrics and the direction of the storyline very well. It's almost like it's meant to be for a roller coaster ride of a soundtrack for a storyline. It really makes sense.
It's like a movie score soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like that's seriously what it is.
In my opinion, a lot of albums these days, especially in death metal, tend to be, you start out with intensity, you keep the intensity all the way through, and that's it. It's just an intense blast of heavy, aggressive music. And I really like that stuff, and I listen to a lot of it. But for me and for these guys too, it's a lot more important to have the contrast between the light and the dark, the happy, the sad, the happiness makes the sadness more apparent, you know what I mean? So if we have a clean section where the guitars aren't crunching and the drums are not blasting away and it's kind of calm, you know that the next riff is going to bring you to your feet because it's going to be something totally different. So you can expect a lot of different transitions from our music.
Awesome. So where can people find you and learn more?
Well, Facebook,
Facebook's good. Okay.
Instagram.
Awesome.
Gosh, what is the other thing? I know there's another, I mean, other than our website, let's just talk about that. We got a website that's been being worked on. I think we're coming down to the tail end of finalizing that. It's practically done. We got a ton of merch. We got a lot of stuff we've really been hoarding and withdrawing on right now to kind of figure out, I guess, the right time. So we got the art that's on the website. So that's going to all be exposed along with a lot of merch that we've been kind of stacking up. And then now that shows are starting to happen, we got a calendar on there. So we'll be able to actually, once we get we commit to actually doing some shows, we'll start getting some dates lined up, and then people can find out what shows, where we're going to be, what times. I guess the band I can give, because I'm not sure if it's live yet, but I'll go ahead and give it to you because it is going to be live shortly. But I believe it's www.primordial-atrocity.band. There we go.
Sweet. Well, so I'll link that for sure so people can find you guys, find the calendar.
Where else? Oh, Bandcamp. Right now we got Bandcamp. For most people know what Bandcamp is. It's just kind of like a templated website for most bands. It's free, so a lot of
That's where they can see a calendar, shows, that sort of stuff. Or is it profile?
It's a place where you can kind of post up merch too, and albums and stuff like that. It's kind of like a short bio. Oh, you can find us on Metal Archives as well for a short bio on there. Also,
past members and all that.
Yep, a little bit of
Awesome.
history out there. Past members, new members, what we've been doing. That's pretty cool too. Am I missing anything, guys?
I would just like to add that to anybody who might be just learning about Primordial Atrocity, or maybe you've known about us and haven't listened yet, whatever you find on YouTube as far as our EP or on Bandcamp, that is all 5 years old. So keep in mind, it's somewhat of a representation of our sound. We certainly have gone through major changes. As Ben said, he and I are the only remaining members from when that release was dropped.
Right.
So while you might find similarities, obviously, because of us remaining in the band, there are a lot of differences. So
yeah, absolutely.
Don't hope for Dismal number 2 because you're getting something brand new.
Awesome. Do you have a name yet that you want to say?
Nothing is settled yet.
Nothing settled. Okay. No worries.
Nothing yet.
Awesome. So when do you guys have an ideal release date or a hope for your newest EP?
Oh, gosh.
TBD.
If we were to put a time frame, what are we in July right now?
Yeah, sure.
I would say
Keep an eye out in the next.
I would say realistically before 2022.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we can get that
So
out.
we're just working
Which
on
is the end of the year,
now,
right?
so-
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet.
I was like, wait, is that another year and a half? No.
Yeah. Where are we in time? I don't know.
Right after, this year's been crazy.
Exactly.
Which
Yeah.
has been good for some bands too. I think it's definitely been a hard blow because of the lack of live shows. But
Right.
for the people who want to really capitalize and not waste a good pandemic, this was a good time to actually sit down and grind and work on the things that needed to be worked on behind the scene, like development and creativity, and kind of really just develop and create stuff, something new, and we have done that. So
Good use of the time. Absolutely. Is there anything else you want your readers or your fans or anybody watching to know about you guys, either individually or the band? Anything else you want to share?
I got something.
All right. Over to you.
As you may have noticed, there's 4 of us here. We are a 5-piece band by choice if we can be. We're looking for a bass player, but let me rephrase that. We're not looking for a bass player. We're looking for a musician that plays the bass, because we need somebody who, like I was saying, open-minded to different genres and different things, and ready to learn and ready to work hard. Because this is not a band for slackers. This is not a band for anybody who wants to give 50%. This is a band for somebody who wants to actually put a lot of, put your money where your mouth is type of situation. So
Right.
definitely need somebody who wants to come in here and have a good time, but also work hard. Because it's easy to find somebody who wants to have fun, but
Not so much both. Right. Awesome. How can they get in touch with you if there's someone that reads this that is like, hey, I would be down to try out for these guys?
I think Facebook is always the best way. Just message us on Facebook. The band page directly is a good one. There's also Instagram if you don't have Facebook, or you can always reach out to one of us personally.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet.
There's ways
Awesome.
that if a person wants to really be a part of this, they will find a way.
Yeah. Whether they have to send a pigeon across the freaking ocean to get it to us.
That's the guy we want.
That's really who you want, right? You're like,
Yeah.
this guy is innovative. This has been a dead source of communication for many years. He's
Right.
keeping it alive.
That's how we found him.
Yeah. Carrier pigeon.
Found in a book years ago.
Yeah. Just a good bit, I sent 2 pigeons.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
Right on. Any other last additions or anything else you want to make sure people know or can anticipate?
Well, I'd like to say, as the newest member of the band, I've been in a couple different, musical groups. I've moved around a lot, so I've been in other bands, and I'd have to say, and not trying to, hype them up too much or anything, right? But as someone who
They're just mediocre. So
exactly, that's a good word. As someone who not only appreciates good musicianship and teamwork, this has been probably the best experience that I've had so far in a band, in a musical group, because not only are they, talented musicians, but they are musicians dedicated to not only being more talented, but learning new skills all the time. Every time, we're at a point right now where we can play the whole EP front to back. And every time we've done it so far, I found myself learning new things about the songs, learning like, oh man, I really like this part, or I really like this part, and never have I had the opportunity to really enjoy playing music as much as I have in the past couple months that I have been playing with these guys. And, there's something to be said about, the state of metal music, metal music is what it is. It's hard, it's aggressive, but it doesn't have to be stale. It doesn't have to be the
Absolutely.
same thing. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the same thing every single time. It can be different. It can be slow. It can be sad. It can be happy. It can be so many different things. And I think these guys are very open to those possibilities. I do really appreciate the fact that, as you guys said, this EP has been, even though I joined, pretty late in the development. I think this has been such a, like, there's been such even inputs in the EP. I haven't felt like, anybody has overshadowed or like overwhelmed me with, like, oh well, this doesn't work. So it's been really good. It's been a good time. Been a good time.
So bass players, it'll also be a good time for you.
There we
Yeah.
go.
All right, pay him now. Pay him for all the things he said about you guys.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect. Right on. Anybody else have?
Sean, you want to say
Add?
some last words? Oh, we'll all say something.
Oh yeah, I just want to say, since joining the band, I actually I played music a lot growing up, and I actually stopped playing music for a while because I couldn't find the right fit for me, and I love making something with someone, so it was really hard for me to play music by myself. When Jake hit me up, and now I've actually written music with these guys, I don't really see myself not playing music ever again. Playing with these dudes has been the best musical experience I've probably ever had so far as a musician. And like, that love for music and that passion is going straight into the album, and it's going forward from that. So yeah, I really care about this team right here for sure.
Awesome. Right here.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, I also appreciate these dudes quite a bit. Everybody's putting in massive action, and I'm all about that. I'm a part of that 10X community, so I'm all about 10X in everything we do. And everybody, there you go. Nice, nice.
Official license.
That was way too synchronized. You guys, you need to settle down.
Well, our side project is a boy band, and
Yeah, right.
coming hard with that too.
I want it metal.
There you go. Yeah.
But like Jake was saying, you know, like if anybody looks at our YouTube channel, oh, by the way, I don't think I shouted out our YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. But if you're looking at all of our older stuff, I definitely think that's a very good point that you said. We sound much different now. We sound, we're still the same band. You can tell we're still the same band. We still have those elements that we kept from the original sound. It's just a little more technical and groovy and feelsy, I guess, if you want to call it that, but not over polished. When I say technical, not over the top technical, not just a ton of people just trying to
Play perfect.
yeah, showcase their musicianship.
Yeah, right.
Like doing tons of crazy drumming and sweeps and crazy vocals. It's well thought out. We just sound a little more, like you said, polished. Everything's very methodical. It's been planned out, and we just bring a lot more to the table now. And so I'm pretty proud with the way that the direction of this band has gone. And so I would just say that there's people that are anxiously waiting to see us perform live. It's going to be well worth the wait, and we're going to be happy to bring it. So yeah, get ready to headbang and slam and get the mosh pits going, or get the folk dancing going, whatever you do in the mosh pit. We're gonna bring it. We're gonna bring it heavy, and we're gonna bring that soulful sound too with the new drums. It's crazy how all this works out, but it's just, it fits very well. So just keep your eyes and ears open. We'll bring it.
Well, I guess I'm the only one that hasn't said anything, so I'll just insert filler bars here. No,
And start screaming. Go.
no. To be honest, though, yeah, I mean, like Ben said, I actually met him because I had another guy move to my hometown, wanted to start a metal band, met another guy, and that guy said, you need to hit up Jake Lloyd. So I meet up with this guy who just moved to my town, and he says, oh, I met this guy named Ben on Craigslist. And I said, well, he's going to murder me probably. But, you know, you don't hire people on Craigslist, man. But Ben shows up looking like somebody I didn't expect to be as brutal as he was. And I judged him quite a bit.
Son.
And he proved me wrong.
The truth comes out.
He showed up wearing baggy cargo pants and he had short hair. And I didn't see anything that said I like death metal on him. So I was like,
Okay, glad he has my address now. That feels good.
yeah. When he melted my face, I realized I needed him forever.
After he was done beating me half to death, we talked music, and
I'm used to that, you know. To be honest with you, with all the members we've had in this band, we've had some of my closest friends that I've ever had in this band. But right now, I don't want anybody else. I wouldn't want anybody else on the guitars, nobody else on the drums. I don't think I'd prefer anybody else on vocals because then I wouldn't be here. But
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I love you guys so much. I'm taking myself out to give you someone even better.
enjoy it. But to be honest, I really do find myself enjoying this band from that standpoint too. And that's because these guys put down such sick instrumentals. I listen to it and I feel like a fan, you know what I mean? And maybe that sounds weird to be a fan of your own band, but if you're not, then you're not doing it right.
Exactly.
So all in all, I'm super happy with these dudes. I wouldn't trade anybody and I wouldn't be in any other band. So keep your eyes peeled.
Sweet. Well, thanks guys for taking the time. If you have any last shout outs, feel free to share now. But basically how this works going forward. Oh, is that?
Oh,
Perfect. Is that some of the merch? Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, right on. Definitely want to direct people to get merch and find you guys. So send me links. I did write down the band website. I'll find you guys on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff to link it. But any other places, like you said, Metal Archives, if you can link me that stuff so I can throw it out there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then photos. I need some photos. So at least 3. If you want to include maybe, if you guys have group images or any from when you played together. I know, Krishna, you're not in any of the old live shows because you just joined. So ideally, everybody that's in it currently would be photographed, like pictured. But let me shout it out. You guys have ideas of what we could use?
As far as getting us all in a picture, we actually talked about getting that set up. We got a ton of friends that do photography, and so I think the best thing for that is just get some new photos worked out. We had some pretty good professional photos right before Krishna joined,
Of
unfortunately.
course.
So a lot of great ones with just us three in it. But
You could just find a good Photoshopper and just drop Krishna in.
Put my name on it.
Just his head
Photoshop.
floating in the background.
That would be too much fun.
Yeah.
I think that's what we'll do. It won't take very long for us to get you some actual
Okay, of everybody.
photos of all of us. Yeah,
Perfect.
we'll get that going for you.
Yeah, maybe some of you playing too, playing or then just together, whatever you guys want to do.
What about just like with our instruments or on our instrument? Maybe is that?
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to do. Send me whatever you guys take. If you have a photographer though that does like some of Krishna playing the drums, and then you two jamming together, and then Jake screaming and then one of you guys collectively. Like I think it'd be cool to feature, all of you individually or kind of what you do in the band, and then one all together. So
Yeah.
served up. So
And,
yeah. I'd love to do the art, but I know you guys are holding off on that. So yeah, we won't we won't link anything else. If you want though, maybe some of the pictures of the merch. Do you want to have a photo of like one of the shirts or some of the I'd love to have the logo in there somewhere because it's a really cool logo.
Send you the file of the logo.
Yeah, well, I could definitely get you the logo PDF or vector files of the logo or the PA crest, like the one on my hat here.
It'll have to be. I wish I could do that. It'd have to be a picture of something. So that's where I'm thinking the shirt or the hat. If you have, yeah, that would be better.
Some shirts or something. We got all kinds of cool little knickknacks and
Right.
things like that. So.
Right on. Yeah, I'd love to feature that too, so people can see. I don't know. I always think it's cool when a band has merch because it's like they really want me to go around and rep for them. That is so sweet and kind of selfish, but I love it. So yeah. Okay, cool. Just email me or text me the photos, and I can get those included. You guys will get a link to the article when it goes live if I have your email address. So Ben, if you want to shoot that over to me, if everybody wants to be able to see it when it goes live.
Yeah.
And then that'll actually be a good indicator too to throw this video out there. So
absolutely. Yeah. I really appreciate also you making the time to do this.
Yeah.
Getting this set up. So
I was so excited because I've been pitching this for how long? I don't know, 4 months now. And they finally emailed me back. I was like, oh my God, yes, finally. I saw the Primordial Atrocity email. I'm like, yes, finally get to do it. Yeah. So
yeah, I appreciate that a lot because it means a lot to us to kind of I don't know. I personally like to be a part of the community, and Thurston Talk is very involved in the community, in the local community, and so I appreciate us. Even if it's someone that's not really necessarily into this type of music,
sure.
It's still something I want to be a part of, and at least give people the opportunity to know us as a person, whether or not they like the music that we play or not.
Absolutely. Just
It
keeps
gives
us
the
all
community
connected.
a chance to acknowledge that bands are still persevering through all of this too.
And we're not just drinking, partying, young kids either. We're adults, we have jobs, children, wife.
Whole lives. Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. It definitely humanizes to have this kind of stuff, because some people might hear a metal song, whatever, and have their own judgments or notions, but this brings some humanity to it and people behind it. Maybe you guys will convert some people. Who knows?
I hope so.
Awesome. Well, hey, great seeing you guys all again. Thanks for taking the time. And if you think of anything or have questions, just shoot me a note. Otherwise, I'll look for photos and then you'll get a link when it goes live. So
absolutely.
Awesome.
I'll get all that stuff too. So thanks again. We really appreciate it. And
you got it.
All right. We'll see ya.
Stay brutal,
see you
y'all.
guys. Yeah. Keep rocking.
Sick.